right. So this is Elite, pretty much. This you can always find us in our social media, and that's our main number, and elitelanguageacademy.org. You'll be able to find lots of information, lots of programs, the mission, the vision that I'm about to share with you. So pretty much, this is a whole gathering of practical English tips from basic, intermediate, advanced. Pretty much we'll just give you an overview of our institution. We incorporate a combined English session with interactive activities. And of course, we have the closing that we answer questions. We can also recommend specific programs that we offer at our institution based on your questions. Pretty much we're here. Our mission is that we exist to facilitate language learning, multicultural awareness, and teaching practices through technological innovation. We strive to impact the students' success, achieving academic and professional goals on a global scale. We inspire educational connection, which promotes global perspective. So over here, I don't know what's going on with the presentation, but anyways, how ELA works, you take courses, which actually are hybrid courses, blended. You already have the whole content incorporated in your Password account with language sessions, live sessions with your assigned teacher. It could be through a mini group or an individual group, individual class. The classes could be in 8, 12 weeks. Everything is incorporated and combined skills, grammar, listening, reading, writing, listening and speaking. It's already incorporated in the language program. As soon as you perform a specific task, practice online, and at the same time, you take some final tests, some assessment, alternative assessment to prove your performance per class. And then, of course, you get your completion, getting your certificate. We have the services, Academic English Program, English Accelerated Program. Academic is pretty much English for purposes, and this is pretty much directed to students or people in general, professionals who want to validate their courses, their original professions in their countries. They want to apply to a university for a bachelor's degree, certificate, master's degree. They may prepare for the TOEFL, IELTS. So everything is combined under the academic English curriculum. We also have the traditional basic, intermediate, advanced English program, in addition to the TOEFL prep business conversation. And of course, now with our STAR program, students from Elite Language Academy can also get a high school American diploma from an American accredited institution by pretty much getting some classes through us. We can also assess you, read your TOEFL scores. We also can administer an evaluation, so we can just recommend you to that specific high school diploma, online, virtual accredited language school, high school. So here we are. We promote and we ask you for every single course to practice the words, write the words, and say the words aloud. So that is the best way to learn your vocabulary words. Being repetitive, you read, write, and pronounce how it's written. You improve your pronunciation, learn the natural flow of English by pretty much following our platform, the English instruction, and your own dedication to your own learning. So right now, it's pretty much the end of the overview. And let's go and let's pretty much break the ice with a program that I believe is great. Let me start with B1, I believe is this one, unit activity 1. All right, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna watch the video and choose the correct answer. As a strategy, okay, to incorporate listening and speaking, and if you have in mind that you actually you already know your grammar, you already know your reading, but you need more practice into your listening and speaking, and that is really common. It's pretty much observing, watching, understanding, modeling. In some cases, you might need subtitles. That's also recommended, watching movies in English and using your subtitles in English or in Spanish if it's needed. But basically, this type of activities improve your language acquisition and learning. So let's listen, and I will be asking some questions.
Right. So, I'm working on the diap sensor project, yes? What will I be doing exactly? Hello, Miss Scott. Beata Kowalska. Very nice to meet you. Let me tell you.
I believe that some of you will use this. Let me use this one. I believe that's actually the one that I wanted to share with you.
On a vacation last year. Great memories. What about your family? Are your parents in the same field as you, the healthcare business?
No. Dad's a professor. Mum worked various jobs, but she's basically retired now. Can we move to the diap sensor?
Which university?
Excuse me?
Your father, the professor, which university is he at?
Warsaw. The Chopin University of Music.
Chopin University. That's not too far from the National Museum. I know Warsaw well. It's one of the world's great capital cities.
I'm very fond of the place too. Anyway, the diap sensor.
There'll be plenty of time for that later. Remind me, what's the name of that really tall building in the middle of Warsaw? I went to a trade fair there once, many years ago. Alô? Tchau, tchau. Obrigado novamente. Tchau.
Is this a good moment to start talking about the diap sensor?
Relax. We'll come to that later. Back to that tall building. Do you know the one I mean?
The Palace of Culture and Science?
The Palace, that's it. That reminds me, I met Jessica Scott there for the first time. What was the event again? I think I still have a program somewhere around here. Do you want to see it? And don't worry, we'll get to the diap sensor in a moment.
Matteo, I really think we should get to the diap sensor now. We don't have long to talk.
If you insist, fine. I just thought you would be interested in the program, that's all. Before I forget, tell me again why Daniel couldn't come.
Wow, we certainly had very different approaches. In the end, Matteo seemed a little unhappy when I took control of the conversation. I tried again and again to bring him back to the diap sensor, but he wanted to talk about other subjects. I see what Alex meant about multitasking.
Okay. At this point, I want you to really go back. I'm gonna just start. I will replay it in a way. But first, I would like you to get the main idea of the whole conversation and think about multitasking, description, the setting of the conversation, the type of relationship of these speakers. That's very important. So take notes to practice some vocabulary that I will be explaining to you. And let's see how you do it as a second time. Okay, what about the word confrontation? What about different approaches when you talk to people at work, in your work environment? How would be more convenient? You know, what expressions or what tone, what manners, and what about the reaction that you are watching toward this lady?
Okay,
On a vacation last year.
my classes in English.
What about your
My classes.
Classes in English
Yeah. Then,
on here.
yeah. Zoom for Zoom. This introduction, how it's going the course, how many time, how many hours.
Which university?
Excuse me?
Your father, the professor, which university is he at?
Warsaw, the Chopin University of Music.
Ah, Chopin University. That's not too far from here. I know Warsaw well. It's one of the world's great capital cities.
I'm very fond of the place. Anyway, the diabsence.
There'll be plenty of time for that later. Remind me, what's a really tall building in the middle of Warsaw? I went to a trade fair there once, many years ago. Hello? Tchau, tchau. Obrigado novamente. Tchau.
Is this a good moment to start talking about the diabsensor?
Relax. Back to that tall building. Do you know the one I mean?
The Palace of Council?
The palace, that's it. That reminds me, I met Jessica Scott there for the first time. What's the event again? I think I still have a program somewhere around here. Do you want to see it? And don't worry, we'll get to the diabsensor in a moment.
Matteo, I really think we should get to the diabsensor now. We don't have long.
If you insist. But I just thought you would be interested in the program, that's all. Before I forget, tell me again why Daniel couldn't come.
Wow, we certainly had very different approaches. In the end, Matteo seemed a little unhappy when I took control of the conversation. I tried again and again to bring him back to the diabsensor, but he wanted to talk about other subjects. I see what Alex meant about multitasking.
All right, class. I have a question. Who can tell me, this is your class, this is your session. Please describe the speakers. There is a gentleman and there is a lady. Of course, they are establishing a conversation. But tell me about, the participants. What is the situation? What is the attitude of the lady? And what about this gentleman? What's his name? If you could recall his name. She mentions about that she controlled the conversation. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did she actually have control of the whole conversation? What was the behavior of these participants? Tell me. I already got my notes and some questions for you, in addition to the one that is covered by the platform, Cambridge LMS Business Partner. That's what I'm using. So who can tell me? Any volunteers, please? Volunteers or victims? I invite you to raise your hand. It would be awesome if you do it. So I'm actually encouraging participation. Remember that it's not what you think, it's what you watch, what you listen. Now, maybe implications, maybe you may have implications based on their body movement use. That is also possible. You can also tell me your impression. So any volunteer to really tell me about this conversation, this video activity, before I ask specific questions. You can tell me, what do you remember? Description, you can describe the speakers. You can describe the place. Maybe you can describe what you remember about the conversation. The behavior, the attitude of the gentleman and of the lady. What did you observe? And thoughts about this lady. Who can tell me? What do you remember? All right. Okay, let me ask, let's see. Victor, do you have a chance to actually watch and listen?
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, I just entered a few minutes before.
Oh, okay. All right. So
didn't
maybe you saw the ending. All right, it's all right. So we forgive you. Let me ask someone else. Let's see. Yes. All right. Ruth, I know that you were. Hello, Ruth. We cannot hear you. Is that possible? Can you hear me? Anyways, all right. I need a participant. Come on.
Yes, hello. Hello, how are you? I come
Hello,
from
Ruth. Okay, hello, Ruth. So thank you for joining us. And I know that you've been there since the beginning, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Tell me, Ruth, what do you remember about the video activity? What type of relationship do they have? Speaker A, speaker B? Or what do you remember? What can you tell me?
The point is, the first time in the video I can hear because my sound, it was off. I don't know what's wrong with my telephone, but now it's better. Now I can hear everything. That's fine.
Okay, so just tell me your description. What do you remember about the video that I just shared?
Yeah, I suppose in the videos I talked about the first time I opened the video, I can listen nothing.
Okay,
Nothing
okay,
happened.
okay. Could you watch it? Could you watch
Yes,
it?
only
Okay,
watching.
tell me what you watched. Maybe you didn't listen, but what were you observing? What do you remember?
I remember you said you talking about the different areas, how you can teach. Okay.
Okay, yes, but I'm talking about the video, like any description about the video activity that I just, I show a conversation of two people. So
Yeah,
what do
but
you remember?
the point is I can hear the conversation because my voice is too off.
Okay, could you watch it?
Yes.
Okay, so just tell me what I want you actually. The main purpose of asking you is because I really want you to produce the language. I just want you to tell me what you remember about the video. Maybe you couldn't listen, but you could watch it. So what did you observe?
Observe
Were they romantic?
It was
in the
a
office?
little romantic. There was one guy with a lady she talked about, okay? And then we're talking about.
All right.
I see we're talking about the course, but I didn't know what about.
All right. So let's ask another participant, Violeta, or who could say. So thank you so much.
Maybe you can repeat the video. I'm sorry, because I watched the video at the final 2 minutes.
Okay, anyways,
Thank you.
yes, I could just watch, I could just do that, but I would like some comments. So let me ask Diego, because it's actually, I show it twice, 2 times, and I want to do more with you tonight. So besides this video, but I wouldn't mind, after our discussion, you can watch it again to be sure what we are discussing. So, Diego, would you please help us to pretty much give us an overview? What do you remember about the video?
Like I told you, I just see the last 2 minutes
Ah,
or 1 minute of
Katia,
the
what
video.
happens is that we have 2 Diegos on the session.
Oh,
So you should
Okay, the other
say,
Diego.
Diego,
yeah,
I don't see the other last name. I only see Diego Alonso,
okay.
and then there's the other.
The other is Diego Ariza.
Mhm. Okay, either one. Which of the Diegos would like to tell me?
So Diego Ariza just arrived at the ending of the video. It should be Diego Alonso.
Okay, Diego Alonso. Excellent. Diego, what can you tell us? Remember that this is your class and we encourage your participation. Remember that teachers are facilitators. I share my knowledge. I apply techniques, strategies, materials that are helpful for all students. But the actual learning, you do the actual learning with your practice, application, and actually full performance. So could you please help me and just give me a summary of what you remember about the video? Who's the brave? Thank you. Thank you, Arturo. You are the pro. Okay.
Hi guys.
Hello.
At the beginning, I thought that it was a kind of job interview.
Yeah.
She was trying to get in touch with him. She was eager, I think, to get in touch, but he was, I don't know, how do you say, there's no more interest to listen to her. So at the beginning, I thought it was a job interview, trying to ask him for something or trying to get something. I don't know, but every single time he turns her down and dismiss what is she talking about. So
No.
trying
She's
to
in English.
describe the
I have to
moment,
pay money.
How much to pay for that?
trying to describe the moment, it was awful. It was a kind of weird for both of them, or I think in the most part for her, because he was totally uninteresting, and this is the right way to say that.
It was not interested, or he was not really paying attention, or he was not into it. Mhm.
Okay, he wasn't into it, or into her, is right? Is it right?
Into her conversation, into it, in the whole situation. I
Okay,
think
okay.
it's better. Mhm.
So this is my overview of
Yes,
this.
yes, Arturo. I have some questions.
Okay.
Okay. There was this. Do you remember the name of the gentleman?
Actually, no, but
It starts with
their
M.
accent, their accent, it's a kind, or was a kind of weird for me. It sounds like British or something like that.
Okay. Well, it was Mateo, and also does he speak another language?
Yes, Portuguese, I think.
Portuguese. Excellent. Great recalling. What I'm doing now, first, I ask an overview and a global, opinion of the video activity. And now I am addressing specific questions about, you know, the material that we just watched. In
Okay.
language learning, we call recalling ideas. In other words, we're going to specifics. Another specifics that I would like to ask you, since you're actually great, so kind to participate tonight. He said, "Oh, there's no doubt that we have different approaches." What does she mean by that expression? Because this lady, she said that, oh yeah, it's absolutely, you know, we all have different approaches. So how can you define approaches or different approaches? Or
Okay,
approach, you
she
know?
was trying to be polite. She was trying to be kindly or kind, I think.
Mhm.
And in order to get something, I couldn't get what is she thinking or what is she wanted,
Mhm.
but she was trying to get in touch kindly. I think this is the right
Yes.
word.
Kindly,
So
nicely.
or
Mhm.
nicely,
Mhm.
and in that way, but he was totally unpolite or she
Unpolite.
trying
And
to
I
dismiss.
believe in a way he was unpolite, which is of course where an educated, you know, person would say I'm polite. But I believe that his reaction was kind of rude, R-U-D-E, rude. He was a little rude. Remember, there is a section that uh, he got over the, you know, he got on the phone. So, and apparently many minutes passed. So because
20 at least.
they pretty much addressed the clock. So the clock went running and the poor lady was actually waiting. So he didn't actually care or consider. So of course, different approaches. So approach, you are absolutely right. You, in a way, I can sense your understanding by your response. Absolutely. So thank you so much. And now I want to just share another one. And now that we have more participants, let me share my screen and let's do the questions that are in a way were prepared. Let's do. So that was activity 1. Let's do activity 2. Okay. I'm gonna do 5.
So, Beata, tell us about your meeting with Mateo. Then you can go and enjoy some sunshine. You've earned it.
Well, he talked a lot about the color of the product. His team carried out some market research last month, interviewed patients, healthcare professionals, pharmacists.
Wait. Did you say pharmacists?
Yes. They did some focus groups, sent out a really detailed questionnaire.
And that's what he asked them about? The color? Seriously, what's wrong with the color? Why did they spend so much time on this?
Sorry, I didn't really have a chance to ask.
You didn't?
Mateo can be a little domineering, Clarice. Have you ever met him?
No, I haven't. Sorry. Please go on, Beata.
Well, according to their focus group results, I have them here if you want to see them. People prefer the darker shade of
Beata, what does Mateo want us to change exactly?
the color of the diop sensor. But I told Mateo I'd get back to him. I hope that was okay.
Of course, you did the right thing. Clarice, what do you think? Can we change the color?
I'm sorry, no. It's really not possible at this stage of the production schedule.
Right. I thought so. Anyway, Beata, tell us about the rest of the discussion.
There's possibly some problem with storage, but we can come to that later. And yes, there's a problem with the design.
What do you mean? A problem with the design of the packaging?
Matteo doesn't think it's very practical.
So what does he want exactly? Does he want us to change the design?
Well, yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I guess so.
Next he'll be asking for a whole new product altogether. Clarice, is it possible to change the packaging design?
Maybe. I'll have to check with our product manager. But at this stage, it's a long shot.
It's a very long shot, I know. How long will it take for you to confirm this?
I'm not sure. We're closed tomorrow for a public holiday.
Can you get back to us by Monday?
Monday? Yes, no problem.
Beata, do you have any other news for us?
No, not really. That went well. I wasn't totally sure Daniel wanted to know all the little details, but I'd rather he knew everything. Anyway, sightseeing time.
Of course, this level is a little advanced, but I think that is, it's pretty much, let me go to switch to student view, and based on the video, let me see here. Let me make it bigger. Yes, it says here, his team, this is what you're gonna do. Watch the video and choose the correct answer, okay? I hope that some of you took some notes. Feel free to participate, okay? And tell me the answers aloud, all right? And then of course, I'll check it. His team carried out some market or marketing research last month. So the answer is?
Marketing.
Excellent, thank you. Now, number 2, that was the example. you have the answer underlined, all right? So number 2, 3, 4, 5.
Actually, by definition.
Yes. Okay, so hopefully remember, when this is pretty much, this activity is not just, oh, I'm watching a video. This is a video with a purpose, with a learning linguistic purpose. You're learning words, you're learning expressions, you're actually have a simulation of a work conference, a virtual work conference, a contemporary one, they are in Zoom, and also a combination of fun, because I can tell that she's in a hotel, she's working, she's a business lady, she's into, her sales, whatever she's doing, but then she says, oh, I'm going to sightseeing. So she has the whole, the whole balance. But in addition to that, that's pretty much portraying, you are portraying a scene of a business lady, in a way. Now, regarding the words that they are using or what they incorporate in the conversation is your job, and that will be your learning. So the first one, his team carried out some market research last month. First of all, is the application of past tense. Okay, let's review a little past. Last month is an indicator, it's a time expression of the past form. Every time that we see last Monday, last month, last year, last, it's always an indicator of past form. What does it mean? It means that the verb needs to be in past tense. It's absolutely incorrect in English, written English and speaking English. You have an expression in past tense and you have the verb in present progressive. No, if you use a time expression in past tense, you need the verb in past tense. So in this case, carry it. In this case, this is not a irregular verb. This is a regular verb. Regular, irregular. What do you mean? Well, in simple past forms in English, we have regular verbs and irregular verbs in past tense. Regular verbs in past tense change, adding an ed ending. See, you can see an ed. And irregular verbs are the ones who change completely. The root, changes completely. For example, bring, which means traer, past tense, brought, changes. In contrast, so that bring, brought would be brought, it's an irregular past tense. In contrast, if I say work, trabajar, past tense of worked, I just add an ed, worked. So that is also under the umbrella of regular verbs like carry it. You add an ed. Another example, speak. What is the past tense of speak? Spoke. So spoke is an irregular verb. What about write? Past tense wrote. Oh, so that's another irregular verb. What about dance? Oh, dance, so easy. You just add an ed. Well, in this case, just a d. Danced. Oh, so danced, it's a regular verb, past form. Another example of past tense. Who can tell me?
It could be worked.
Worked. Okay, that is a regular or irregular?
Regular.
Excellent. Another. What about listen? To listen.
It's regular.
Excellent. Listened. Excellent. Okay, give me an irregular verb. Another one.
Lie.
Lie?
Lie.
Lay. You mean to lie, or which one is the one that you mean?
I mean fly.
Laid. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna give you another one. What about break? To break.
It's irregular.
Excellent. A+. And what is the past tense of break?
Broke.
Broke. Wonderful. So number 2, now we're ready. That was our mini review lesson of simple past tense. Now, just to end the mini simple past tense form review, how can I change this into a question? Because this is an affirmative statement. His team carried out some market research last month. That is an affirmative sentence or statement. We say statement or sentence. It's pretty much the same word, the same meaning. What about, how is the question? How will you make a question?
It could be with does.
Oh, no.
No?
Do and does, those are friends in present tense.
Okay.
Remember that the sentence is in past tense.
Okay. Did.
You need an auxiliary in past tense to make a question.
Okay, it could be did.
Yes, did. Excellent. Did is the helper, the auxiliary of past tense in English. And yes, you use did. Okay, so can you formulate the question? There's no judgment. Remember that this is your practice, okay? I'm here to facilitate your learning, to make you remember, to make you understand, all right? So just feel free, confident of actually, forming your question. So his team carry out. So what is the question?
It could be, did his team carry out some market research last month?
Excellent. And remember, I believe that you don't write the verb in past tense, right? No, it will be carry.
Right.
It will be just carry.
This his team carry out.
Carry out, yeah, but the conjugation ed when you make the question, it's not included. In other words, it will be, did his team carry out? Very good. Just C-A-R-R-Y, carry out. Okay, why? Because when you make the question in past tense, you're already using did. So you don't need to write the verb in past tense because the auxiliary has the past form. Okay, excellent. And the question, the answer, the short answer could be. And what about the negative? His team did not, or his team carry out some marketing research last month. How is in negative? Negative statement or negative sentence. His team didn't carry out, didn't, all right, didn't.
I was about to say that.
Okay, thank you. I read your mind. Thank you. All right. So, okay, anyone? Okay, so just give me as a group, okay, as a group, the answers that you believe are the correct ones. So let's start. How many do we have? Okay, we have 8 to do together. All right, and then we'll check. Remember that I'm just saying the words, okay? Interview patients, healthcare, professors, professionals, pharmacists. What would be appropriate?
Professionals.
All right, we'll see if you're right. What about 3? Class, they did some focused with ED groups. The first one or the second one?
Is the first one.
We'll see.
Focus.
Okay,
Focus.
number 4. We say send off or send out a really detailed questionnaire. Sent off a really detailed questionnaire or send out a really detailed questionnaire. This is a 2-word verb.
I don't know. I think the phrasal verb is sent out. I don't know. I'm not pretty
Okay,
sure.
I believe that you're right, but we'll check together, all right? Number 5. There's possibly some problem with packing or storage.
It's packaging.
Packing.
Packaging, okay, or storage, all right. We'll see. Number 6, we can come to that later, or we say we can come for that later.
For that later.
Okay, for that later. What about 7? Mateo, Mateo, not Mateo happens to be that he has a temper. Sometimes he's kind of tough, I believe, in the work environment. Okay, that Mateo doesn't think it's very practical, or Mateo doesn't think it's very sensible.
Practical.
Okay. Number 8, I'll have to check into our product manager, or I'll have to check with our product manager. Which one is more appropriate? Into
With.
or with? With, all right, we'll see. And number 9, finally, before we check our answers, at this stage or phase, you can say a stage, phase. At this stage or time, it's a long shot. So you say at this stage, it's a long shot, or at this time, it's a long shot.
Stage.
So remember, okay, that the meaning, just a little hint, all right? I want to help you. The correct answer will give you the second part of the sentence. It's a long thought. That comment actually gives you you know, the right answer, if it's a stage or time. So say it again, okay? Close your eyes, all right? And then look at the sentence again and say, at this stage, it's a long shot. Or at this time, it's a long shot. Which one do you think? Time or shot? Okay, we'll see. All right, so let me switch. And here we are. Here we are. It says, the first one, market. Very good. Who answered professionals? They did some focus. You did pretty well. You gave me this answer. I remember focus. Then send, instead of send off, we say send out. So repeat after me. Sent out. Repeat.
Sent out.
Sent out. Yes, because well, some of you couldn't listen my tips for learning English or specific aspects in the reading language, but when you start learning a vocabulary, it's true that you read it, you write it, and guess what? You say it aloud always. So in other words, it's not enough just for seeing it or reading it. It's also important to pronounce it and say it aloud. And that's the way that you will remember. And you write it because we recommend a log or your phone where you just list all your new words. Remember, this is your second language or third language, so memory is fragile. So it will be great if you have the habit to write down your new words in a, in your folder, in a blog, on your notes, if you're very technological, and having a list of new words. So that is really helpful. So every time that, oh my God, I think that I got it, or I wrote it down, you can always take a look and practice it. Okay, so sent out, a really detailed questionnaire sent out. The other one is storage. There's possibly some problem with storage. Storage in this case is el almacén. Packaging in this case is el empaquetamiento. Storage, there's possibly some problem with storage. Then here is, we don't say we can come for that later.
I have a question.
We can come to, yeah, because for is very Spanish. Si hablas español, lo más clásico y lo que es más común es cometer ese error de los prepositions. Prepositions are hard, takes time to handle prepositions, really. So don't feel horrible if you're making mistakes with to, with, for, and so forth, because it takes time to really assimilate. It's language use, practice, reading makes the learning possible. So if you are a Spanish speaker, you have a tendency to say, we can come for that, para eso, o por eso, right? But unfortunately, in English, we don't say we can come for that, is we can come to that, specifically because you are directing to something specific. We come to that involves a problem, a situation, a case that your partner, your co-worker in this case, is working with you, or you've been interacting. So it's already there. It's on the table, it's under discussion. So that is the situation that you will actually apply that verb correctly, all right? 7, it says, Mateo doesn't think it's very practical. Yes, that's the right one. It's very practical. That is the right adjective. I'll have to check into, or I'll have to check with our. So you check with someone, okay? With someone. And the other one at this stage. Excellent, excellent. I know it's 8:02. I don't want to say goodbye after showing something else that I prepared for you. Let me see. I think that I have it. Oh yes, it's right here. Just to end and to wrap up, it's very you know, it's really important, the pronunciation. So we combine, you know, this last session of this module of 2023 of ELA's webinar, free webinar. We combine your listening and speaking skills, your reading and listening comprehension. We also combine, what else do we do? You learn new words? Yes. You learn new expressions? Oh, yes. Everything was incorporated in the activities, you know, that I use. And at the same time, we'll review a little bit of grammar, syntax, which is very important. But what else is in your learning important? Your pronunciation. And that really takes, you know, time, practice. And every single person is different. So some people have tendencies to remember specific sounds or produce specific sounds easily. So for consonants, let me see.
Watch it. E, A, U, O, I, ow, R, D, oi, y, or, ear.
Okay, what I just, you know, model is pretty much the main challenge of learning a second or third or fourth language. Pretty much, you know, if you are a Spanish speaker, our sounds, I'm also a Spanish speaker, native speaker, so we only have vowel sound. Solo aprendimos y tenemos y practicamos 5 vocales, ¿verdad? A, E, I, O, U, muy práctico. Y cada vez que nosotros leemos una palabra y vemos la vocal, es exactamente como se pronuncia la vocal en las palabras, A, E, I, O, U. Normalmente esa es la mini lección que hago cuando he enseñado o enseñamos español a o personas que no hablan el español. Es la primera lección, porque tanto el aprender inglés como aprender español tiene el mismo proceso, es un proceso similar. Nada más obviamente cambia el antecedente y el contenido, pero es algo muy similar a lo que ustedes viven o lo que puede vivir cualquier otra persona aprendiendo otro idioma, ¿no? En este caso, E, you have a long E, but at the same time in English, you have the short one. We have the A, which is the long E. And at the same time, you have the short one, E. Okay, what about the consonant sounds? Say, B. So it's your class, so repeat. Man,
This is
All
close.
right. Okay. What did I do? I'm showing you where to get it. It's a free. I recommend this 100%. All right.
This web page is free?
I have pronunciation power. Okay. Okay. Let me just go. Let's do one exercise of the long E. You know, I believe that the first session of this first module, I included a pronunciation session, and actually it's the same sound. So I'm pretty much repeating the sound that I presented on the first session of this first module of our LS webinars. So repeat after me. Eat. This is before we say goodbye. Eat. Eat.
Eat.
Eat.
Eat.
Eat.
Eat.
T.
T.
Easy.
Easy.
Please.
Please.
Repeat.
Repeat.
Me.
Me.
East.
East.
Feel.
East.
See.
Feel. See. Tree.
Feel.
Feel.
Team.
Team.
M. All right.
Same.
Team. And then
Funny.
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 Funny. Very good. Now, what about this?
Sheep. Whip.
Okay, this is just your listen. I invite you just to listen and see the difference. What is in red, it's the sound that the speaker is pronouncing. All right. And of course, in contrast, you will compare the first E and the short E, the one that I showed you previously.
Sheep. Whip. Wheel. Ill.
Okay, what does it mean? It means that this E is this long E sound that is included in the pronunciation. In contrast, it's just the I with sh, okay?
Feet.
See?
Fit.
Mhm.
Leap. Flip. Clean. Plan. Breezy. Busy. Me. My.
Excellent. And to conclude, before we say goodbye, dear class, this is what we're gonna do. Remember that you're doing E. Repeat after me, E.
Ah.
Oh no,
E.
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 Excellent. Mhm. This is tricky tonight, but don't worry. I'll get it. I'll get it. Mhm. This pronunciation power. This discrimination A. Yes. Okay. So the speaker will say a word, and then you will guess. You need to tell me
Eager. Easy.
if it's yes or no. In other words, you will listen to two words, you know, and you need to say if these two words share the same E sound. If they do, you say yes. If one of them is different, it's a different E, not E, of course you will answer no. All right?
Eager. Easy.
Yes or no? Class, yes or no?
Please repeat again.
Eager. Easy.
Yes. Eager.
Mm,
Easy.
All
Yes.
right. Congratulations.
Eagle. End.
No.
Eagle. End.
Yes.
Feel. Fill. Feel. Fill.
Yes or no?
No. No.
All right.
Please. Freedom.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. One more.
Even. Heaven. Even. Heaven. Even. Heaven. Even. Eight.
Yes or no?
Again.
Even. Ape.
No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Sip.
Again.
Yes.
No.
No, it was no.
Flee.
Oops, sorry.
Play.
I gave you the answer. Oh, say it again.
Flee. Play.
Yes or no?
No.
No.
All right. Okay, good job. Good job. So it is time to say goodbye. Diego will be sharing some materials, you know, a little gift from us. At the same time, we're also offering 20% off our courses. If you're interested, if you have any questions, you know, feel free to ask questions. And we will be opening the second module the first week of March. So hopefully you will be also part of our audience tonight.